The boy took out his invention and showed it to his father and saw that he had removed the batteries from the radio, but he could still hear the sound clearly. His father was amazed, and the boy explained that it was the wind that generated electricity through the rotation of the fan blades. If the fan blades were replaced with bigger ones, it would generate more electricity to drive a pump that would pump a steady stream of water from the ground, thus making it easy to beat the droughts. His father was delighted, but the boy told him that it required dismantling your bicycle as a step. But then the boy told him that it was necessary to dismantle your bicycle as a step towards the generator. Hearing this, father was instantly upset. "What do you have to rely on this broken windmill?" This sentence completely pissed off a few days without eating. The father directly slapped his son's heart and soul. But this broken toy saved the lives of a whole village and even ended an entire country's centuries-long history of dependence on the weather. What's even more outrageous is that this is a true story. If you've had a rough couple of years, please bear with me as I tell you this story. It could very well be the story that affects the rest of your life. The boy's name is William, and he was born in a small African village called Malawi. This is one of the 10 poorest countries in the world, with less than 1% of the population having access to electricity. The special tropical location in the interior of the country determines the extreme weather here, with 5 months of torrential rains followed by half a year of blazing sunshine. Poverty and hunger are the constant shadows of the land. His father was not very educated, and his biggest worry was the unpredictable weather, because it was a matter of whether the family would go hungry or not. But even so, his poor father insisted on paying the first installment of his son's middle school tuition, and in his nice uniform, William hugged his father excitedly. And at the opening ceremony, the principal made an impassioned speech, saying that even though the school wasn't too good, he would not go back to school. As we spoke, there was a sudden clap of thunder in the sky, and soon it began to rain. It seemed that this year would be a good omen. After school, the physics teacher reminded William that he had to pay the rest of his tuition fees by next week, or else he wouldn't be able to come back to school. William felt very bad after hearing that, and his physics test scores were not very good. He wanted to study at night, but his family couldn't afford to have kerosene lamps, so he went on a treasure hunt in the village's garbage dumps. All of them were discarded by a tobacco factory in the neighborhood. After some searching, William found a water pump, and then dug up a piece of discarded lead-acid batteries, but there seemed to be nothing left. Returning home, William saw the chief was in a meeting. It turned out that the tobacco company, in order to save costs and profiteering to 2,000 kwacha a ton price, to buy the last local mausoleums used as fuel for drying tobacco. To know that this translates into yuan, only 15 yuan, less than, but this year's harvest hit a record low, is afraid of starvation of the villagers have signed the agreement. No matter how much persuasion of the chief and William's father was not helpful, in the end had to. They watched as the trees that had protected them from the floods fell one by one, dooming the villagers to an impending misery. Soon the long rainy season began, just in time to moisturize the corn that had been set aside a short time ago for cooking. The village thugs have nothing to do all day.